Okay, I wanted to talk today briefly to our seasoned investors in the crowd. And seasoned could mean you've owned rental property for 4, 5, 10, 15, 50 years, basically something that you've owned for a handful of years, ideally. Or maybe you just anticipate or are aiming at becoming a real estate investor one day. This conversation will still be important for you. So let's talk about depreciation. You can see that over my shoulder here. And particularly what to do once you've owned a rental for a longer period of time and what's going on. And so in a market where prices have come up pretty significantly over the past 5 to 10 years, you may find yourself in a situation where something that you bought a while ago is worth well more, and your depreciation number is not that substantial or maybe barely existent at all. For a quick sidebar, depreciation is an accounting term where the IRS allows a real estate investor to deduct a portion for wear and tear on the property every year, and it's just an accounting maneuver. You're not actually paying or receiving any money. And so I made a brief note behind me. 27 and a half years on residential real estate. It's different for commercial. We could talk about that another time. And what you would do is, let's say hypothetically, I bought this property for $300,000 and we deem the dirt or vacant land underneath it, I guess it's not vacant land, but the land that goes with the property to be worth $75,000. Therefore, we say, or we believe we have a $225,000 building. And so what we do with the IRS is we take the 225, we divide that by 27 and a half, and that gives us $8,181 and some change that every year, whenever I go to do my taxes and I itemize this rental property, I deduct that amount. So same property, maybe I have $25,000 annually in rent. $10,000, I've also got that on the board over here for taxes, insurance, maintenance, management. In this scenario, we're not borrowing any money, but certainly that would be the case often enough. So I've still got $15,000 in my scenario left over that the IRS is going to have their hand out and want to collect taxes on. And the beauty of this depreciation write-off is that I can deduct from that $15,000 the depreciation amount of $8,000 and change. Now, as time goes by, that dollar amount for depreciation remains stable, but my equity in the property, theoretically, is growing. And so what you can do to maximize your return is this. You would sell this property in 1031 exchange, and I will tag a video I've done previously on 1031 exchanges, but you would 1031 exchange into a new rental property. And the reason being is, let's say 10 years goes by, the home that I bought for $300,000 is now worth $600,000, and $8,000 in comparison to my $25,000 in annual revenue, maybe now it's $50,000 in annual revenue because rent goes up, property values go up, all with decades of time. That typically happens, has happened for thousands of years now. And so I want to maximize my return. And in some cases, 27 years goes by, I no longer have a depreciation write-off at all. And therefore, I'm losing a benefit that I once had. And so when you sell the property, you basically restart the clock and restructure the math for the depreciation that you get from the IRS perspective. And so you can really enhance your return on any individual rental property by selling, repositioning that money in a new home. Obviously, you want to buy right. But if you're selling in the same market and buying in the same market, up, down, or indifferent, kind of doesn't matter if the goal is to really improve your position from a depreciation perspective. So I wanted to mention that briefly. If you've got questions about the technicals on that, or maybe you've got ambitions of selling a home or buying your first rental property or whatever the case may be, feel free to reach out 904-405-1995, or you can shoot me an email, jeff@pursuitrealestate.com. Take care. We'll catch up soon.